Chapter 7 is all about polynomials. So I'm going to talk to you today about Section 2, Chapter 7.2, and it's adding and subtracting polynomials. A monomial is a number, variable, or product of a number and one or more variables with whole number exponents. So a monomial can look like 5x, it could be -6, it could be 12x squared. All of those are monomials. Mono means one. A polynomial, poly means many, is a monomial or a sum of monomials. So each monomial is called a term of the polynomial. So a polynomial can look like 3x squared plus 5x minus 6. This is a polynomial because it has more than one term, and each of these monomials are considered terms. So this polynomial has 3 terms in it. The standard form of a polynomial is when the exponents of the terms decrease from left to right. So if you notice in this particular example, my exponent goes 2, and then 1, and then this would be x to the 0. We write the exponents in descending order. So an example would be if I had 5x to the 4th plus 3x squared minus 2x plus 5. This is in standard form because the exponents decrease from left to right. So we're going to add polynomials and subtract polynomials. So let's first complete these two by finding the sum. So I have 2 polynomials, or we can also say a binomial. Bi means 2. These both have 2 terms. So I have 3a squared plus 8, and I'm adding 5a minus 1 to that. The polynomials are in parentheses, and when you're adding, nothing really happens. Our main focus in this section is going to be when we subtract polynomials, because that's where things get a little sticky. So now you're just going to look at the polynomial and combine like terms. 3a squared does not have a like term, so we just rewrite it. Positive 8 and negative 1 is a plus 7, and I'm going to write it last. And then my 5a does not have a like term, so I'm going to write it in the middle because, again, I want it to be in descending order. So that is the sum of those 2 polynomials. Just combine like terms. Let's try the next one. Negative x squared plus 5x plus 4, and I'm adding this second polynomial to it, 3x squared minus 8x plus 9. I like to use a highlighter or different colored pens to help let the like terms stand out. So I have a negative x squared plus 3x squared is 2x squared. I have a positive 5x minus 8x is minus 3x. I have a plus 4 and a plus 9 is plus 13. And that is the sum of the 2 polynomials. Again, it's in descending order, and all I have to do is combine the like terms. The difference, when we are subtracting polynomials, it's a little bit different because I am subtracting this whole thing. So I like to remember that there is a secret negative 1 in front of that polynomial. So you're going to rewrite the first polynomial just as it is. But when you subtract the second one, you have to remember to distribute the negative to everything in the second polynomial. And ultimately, when we multiply by negative 1, we're just switching the sign. So this second polynomial is now going to be minus 2y squared. A negative 1 times a negative 5y is plus 5y. And a negative 1 times negative 3 is plus 3. Again, I just changed all of the signs in my second polynomial. Now I combine the like terms. Y squared minus 2y squared is negative 1y squared. 4y plus 5y is plus 9y. And 2 plus 3 is positive 5. Okay. Letter B. Again, there is a minus 1 here. So I have to distribute a negative 1 to everything in the second polynomial. So I'm going to rewrite, I'm going to move this down here. My first polynomial is 5x squared plus 4x minus 1. And then distributing this negative, I have a negative 1 times a positive 2x is minus 2x squared. And then the negative times a negative 6 is a plus 6. Now, combine like terms. 5x squared minus 2x squared is 3x squared. 4x, doesn't have a like term, so I'm just going to put plus 4x. And then a minus 1 and a plus 6 is plus 5. And that is the difference between those two polynomials.